I gave you all the love I got. I gave you all that I could give. Gave you love. I gave you all that I had inside, and you took my love. You took my love. Didn't tell you what I need. Somebody said that. I love like your eyes didn't give you all that I do. I gave you all the love I got. I gave you all that I could give. Gave you love. I gave you all that I had inside, and you took my love. You took my love. I keep crying. I keep trying for you. There's nothing like you and I, baby. This is no ordinary love, no ordinary love. This is no ordinary love, no ordinary love. When you came my way, it brightened every day with your sweet smile. Didn't I tell you what I believe? Somebody said that love like love won't last. Didn't I give you all that I got to? Oh, baby, this is no ordinary love, no ordinary love. This is no ordinary love, no ordinary love. This is no ordinary love, no ordinary love.
Yes, folks. Here we are. Another edition of AfterWork Networking Wednesdays. We've never had as many technical issues as we had today, but we shall overcome, and we are overcoming. So here we are, and we say a warm welcome to everyone. We're gonna get right off the bat. Before I even introduce the special guest that we have today, we're focusing on Caribbean American Chamber of Commerce and Industry, CACI, and we also have a special guest with us in the person of Valence Williams, who's going to give us a business update. But before we do any of that, Cheryl V, who's been entertaining us with Ras Valley of the Damage Band, is going to give us an opening prayer. Cheryl?
Okay, Father Lord, we thank you for this evening. Thank you for bringing us here again together to network. We thank you for our featured guests who are joining us, who are going to share with us this evening, and for all of those who are joining us virtually and those who are here in person. We ask you to bless each and every one. May this be another productive networking session. In your mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much, Cheryl Vincent. And folks, just to acknowledge, Cheryl Vincent is a co-host, recording artist, registered nurse. She has been with us almost from the very beginning. Ras Valley, who performed for us early on, along with who accompanied Cheryl, he has been with us from the very beginning, along with primary co-founder and co-host Edmund Sadio. Sadio is on sabbatical. He's also the chairman emeritus of the Caribbean American Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the organization that we are putting the spotlight on tonight, an organization that has been with us, founded since 1985. Yes, 36 years in Compton. And the gentleman we have as special guests, who we are going to be hearing from shortly, are I'm just going to name them now and introduce them properly in a while. We are talking about Harry Fouché, who is the acting chairman of the board of CACI, and he's also the former consul general of Haiti in New York City. We're also going to have George Hulse, the first vice chairman of CACI, who is also the vice president of Emblem Health. And we also have special guest, Mr. Lake, who is a senior consultant for CACI. He's going to be sharing with us here this evening as well. And right next to me, to my right, is Valence Williams, who has been a regular presenter with us here in AfterWork Networking Wednesday. And he is the senior VP with JB Darby, and a Wall Street firm on Wall Street. And he's also a stockbroker, financial planner, trader, and stock investment advisor. And our brother Valence is going to be giving us a very brief, just a minute, just a teaser update on what's happening in the market as far as investments and managing your finances is concerned. And then right after that, we're going to go straight into unpacking the discussion on CACI, the history, the accomplishments, and the benefits to be had from membership of that organization. For those who are joining us for the very first time, AfterWork Networking Wednesdays is very, very simple what we do. We bring together established business owners, professionals, experts, entrepreneurs, and aspiring entrepreneurs. We identify people who are making things happen in our community. We find them, we have them share best practices, and we find out who's doing what in our community, and we find ways and means to support each other. At this juncture, having prayed, having introduced, I'm going to have our brother here give us a brief business update, and then we'll bring to the fore our special guest from CACI. Valence Williams is going to tell us a little bit about what's happening in the stock markets, what's happening in terms of cryptocurrency and all of that. Give us an update, brother. And how have you been?
I am fine, thank you. This is a very exciting time because we just went through a global situation of the global financial disruption all over. Just about every country went through it. But what this thing has created is some major opportunities, because just about every industry got hit with the pandemic. Now what we're experiencing is the early stages of every businesses are coming back. People are getting ready, are spending more money. Investments are taking off. And if you're paying attention, if you have your retirement account, your IRA, things of that nature, this is a very important time for you to start paying very careful attention. Now think about this. The airlines, people have had to travel to do business. The airlines stopped moving, so the shares, the price of the shares in the major airlines went down very low. Now we're starting to see movement. Everything is coming off the bottom. It's very important for us to pay attention to just every business. It's a major opportunity, because what happens when things get disrupted and they get down very low, if you pay attention, you catch the first early move. Something that was selling, for instance, Boeing, that makes all these airplanes. Before the pandemic was $250 something a share. It got down to 70 something. And it's almost back to that already. You see what I'm saying? Now, outside of travel, just about every business got disrupted, and the price of their shares got extremely low. You got to move quickly, though, because everybody's recognizing this. Along with, because I want to be brief, I got things.
Well, we're going to be bringing you back next month.
Yeah, next thing. Right.
And put the spotlight on you.
Definitely.
And finance
I could do a broader thing.
Yeah, but you're just giving us a teaser here.
Pay attention to this new phenomena of the cryptocurrency. Unfortunately, all the younger people seem to naturally understand what is going on with this cryptocurrency. And the older The more matured and older folks are very confused, but it's a very basic thing. This thing didn't just start. About 4 or 5 years ago, there was an indication. It just gave you a warning that it's coming, and it made a move. And then everything came tumbling down. The president of Chase Manhattan Bank said it was nonsense. Most of the old bankers on Wall Street, they didn't want any part of it. This second rung, everybody getting involved. Every major business is getting involved in putting some cryptocurrency on the balance sheet.
Something to look out for.
It's something to look out for. Pay attention. In fact, I would suggest you talk to the young ones in your family, because all of them seem, if it's interesting, they seem to understand it naturally. And that's because they're growing up in the digital world. You know what I mean? So I just thought I could contribute that tonight. I will be back, but I got some relatives that came into town, and they're at my house.
And folks, just so you know who we are speaking to, Valence Williams, as I said, he's a senior vice president at J.H. Darby and Company, on Wall Street. And he is one of the earliest black minority financial advisors on Wall Street, old Howard graduate.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, one of my classmates was Elijah Cummings that died.
Oh boy.
We were campus politicians from way back then. When I got to Wall Street, every major brokerage house I went to, I was the only black. So it's my responsibility to share, and then I work a lot with the next generations also, the young ones.
We are happy to have him as part of the family, as a partner in AfterWork Networking Wednesdays, who is also a very good friend, close friend from way back of the Caribbean American Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And as I promised, we're going to have Valence back next month for a session of AfterWork Networking Wednesday. At this point in time, thank you very much, Valence.
All right. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
It's always a pleasure having you.
Pleasure.
I look forward to seeing you next month.
Okay, good.
All right.
So at this point, folks, I would like to present on the screen for the live all of the special guests we have from here as part of as a feature guest here this evening on AfterWork Networking Wednesday. What I would like is each one, beginning with former Consul General of Haiti to New York, who is also our current acting chairman of the board at CACI, Mr. Harry Fouché. Harry, would you mind, making a few opening remarks? Share with us your opening remarks before we get into the question and answer this evening.
Thank you very much, Jerry Hopkins, for inviting us, and thank you, everybody who came out to be part of this Networking Wednesday. Indeed, it's a pleasure and a privilege to be joining you and to be exchanging ideas with folks and letting them know what CACI has been doing and where we are and where we intend to go. So I will have more to say shortly after my colleagues have their say.
And now we hear from George Hulse, first vice chairman, and also who is the vice president of Emblem Health.
And
George.
thank you so much for the great work that you do. Seems like I've been here at AfterWork Networking Wednesdays many times because I've spoken so many times about this organization with Edward Sadio. Sadio would talk to me we've spent so many hours talking about the importance of this organization and organizations like this. And of course, this pandemic has really shown us the importance of networking groups, especially for people of color and small business people. It has never been more important than now for small business people to network, to connect, and to support each other. And we don't just have to support each other as consumers. We can support each other as partners. We can give each other good leads. We can feed each other business. We can tell each other about opportunities that we may not be involved in, but that could help other people. The July-August issue of the Harvard Business Review The title says, you can improve your ability to adapt. And this pandemic has most certainly showed all of us that we really have to improve our ability to adapt. And we at CACI were hit squarely in the nose with this, our lack of ability to quickly adapt because we were really unprepared. Our founder, Dr. Roy Hastig, had led this organization for 30 some years, and he led it seamlessly, him and his beautiful bride, Dr. Hastig, and both Dr. Hastigs. And during the pandemic, of course, we had the unfortunate experience of him expiring as a result of complications from COVID-19. And here we were in the middle of a pandemic when people couldn't come together. We couldn't do the things we normally do, bringing people together at the Brooklyn Navy Yard, bringing people together at Brooklyn Borough Hall. And it was a very, very challenging period for us. And we often talked about this, those our board members. We said, we're just like small business people now who are in a difficult position. How do you adapt? And so I know everyone who's listening to my voice for the last 18 months has said to himself or herself, how do we adapt? Jerry, you're in a site right now, that restaurant, and they wrestled with how do we adapt? And so what you're doing, congratulations. Congratulations to Edward Sadio and you and others who had the vision to start this organization. And now we see the importance of it more than ever. So let me say, for not just for the members of CACI, but for all of us, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Is ours. Now to Mr. Lake. Mr. Lake, would you mind please? Oh, Lake is no longer with us? Okay, well, Mr. Lake was supposed to join us, and Mr. Lake is a consultant. And you know what, before I go on, let me have Mr. Fouché tell us a little bit who Mr. Lake really is, because we need to recognize him for his contributions. Mr. Fouché, would you mind telling us who Mr. Lake?
As I mentioned at the beginning of the program, Mr. Lake.
But tell us a little bit about Mr. Lake before we go on.
Yeah,
go any
Mr.
further.
Lake is a senior consultant to CACI. He has been with us through the pandemic and through the the illness and the passing of Dr. Roy. So he's been an invaluable member of the organization, helping with many issues that we were facing as an organization. So he's been around, and he's a very knowledgeable individual. He's also in the he was involved in the stock market as well as your previous guest. So he's a man of many hats, and he's involved in the oil business currently. So he's got many I guess untapped I would say opportunities that he's ready to expose all of us to. So also I should point out that one of our board members should be physically at the location. I don't know if he's there. You could bring him in to say a word or two. Mr. Balfu Pert is our treasurer. And then after that, I will then begin with my formal presentation.
Balfour did promise to be here with us. He's the treasurer of CACI, but he hasn't gotten here as yet. So if and when he does arrive, we will certainly include him on the panel. Just before we begin the serious unpacking here, let me make an acknowledgement. AfterWork Networking Wednesday, and this is also by way of clarification, we've been doing this for almost 6 years now, and it's really a movement. And what we do, we are all members of CACI, Cheryl Vincent, myself, Edmund Sadio, of course, Chairman Emeritus, and we see this as a forum, a meeting place, which provides a platform for folks to network, share best practices, find out who is doing what, and uplift ourselves and our community. And so I'm happy as acknowledged by Brother George Hulse, that we are doing what we are doing, and that and proud to see that we are going to continue doing so. Now, I must also say that Dr. Roy Hastic, who we pay tribute to tonight as the founder and first president of CACI, has been a source of inspiration, personally to me and to me, as to many others. And so tonight, as we talk about the history of CACI, the mission of CACI, the work of CACI, and the benefits of CACI, as well as the accomplishments, I would like us to keep him in mind, Dr. Roy Hastic Sr., and also the other board members who passed on, such as Lowell Hawthorne, who was the founder and CEO of Golden Cross. May his soul rest in peace. Also, we want to acknowledge tonight other members of CACI who passed on during the pandemic. I'm talking about brothers like Conrad Eiffel, the founder of Conrad's Bakery, who did that for over 30 years. And he left a job on Wall Street to open his bakery. And he was an example to so many of us. And the rest of the panel, if there's any other person who has passed on, who was a member of CACI that you want to recognize during the course of your interactions here this evening, please feel free to do so. I encourage that. I encourage that. So folks, at this point in time, let's talk about the mission of CACI. And you may take turns doing so, both of you, Mr. Fouché and Mr. Hulse. Let's talk about the mission of CACI, and along with that, speak of the accomplishments of CACI thus far.
I think I'm muted. Can you unmute me? Okay. Yeah, CACI has been around for 36 years. And the one thing that made CACI what it is today is the fact that it is a membership organization. By definition, a Chamber of Commerce is a membership organization. So one of the, I guess, trademark of what Dr. Roy Hastic has done during the years that he was at the helm of CACI was to, drum up membership, go around and interest people in CACI, have people join CACI, and offer programs that would, of course, serve as a catalyst to bring people together, but also help people in organization and small businesses grow. So we've seen that happen. And of course, over the years and throughout before the pandemic, CACI used to host quite a bit of small business conferences and what we would call networking works type gatherings. George Hulse mentioned Borough Hall. That was like one of the regular places for us to meet. There were other places, the Brooklyn Museum. We had events at City Hall. So CACI has been really, I would say, in the forefront of bringing people together and telling people to actually form, I would say, a strong bond, and through that strength that we develop, help our community benefit from whatever benefits we will derive from the bond and unity that we have developed. In terms of programming, of course, small business is always, the main thing. We try to develop entrepreneurship. It is nothing better than somebody developing a business and working for yourself and creating jobs. That was one of the things that, Roy was always a champion of. And also interacting with the public sector, because no matter what you do, you're going to encounter the public sector in your stead as you move forward. So the good rapport that CACI developed over the years with the public sector, whether it is at the city level or the state level or at the federal level, has also been something that we were able to use for the benefit of the members of CACI. For example, we could be doing a program where we would bring somebody from the SBA, the Small Business Administration, or somebody from the Department of Commerce, the Office of Trade and International Commerce. So those are the kind of things that was extremely important. Of course, we cannot, underestimate the strong relationship we've developed with the city of New York, whether it's with the city council or the mayor's office or the different boroughs, in particular the borough of Brooklyn. We've had over the years excellent relationship with the different boroughs presidents. The current borough president, of course, President Eric Adams is one of them. We also had President Marty Markowitz. These are folks who believed in Kaki, worked with Kaki, and also help us over the years achieve what we have achieved so far. And one of the things I will tell you, yes, you mentioned the passing of Dr. Roy over this past year due to the COVID. That was a big blow to us. We also have the illness of Edmond Sadio. Edmond Sadio was the chairman of our board, and around the same time Roy passed, Edmond got sick. So we had like a double blow in terms of the management of the organization. So, but we are working. We are fortunate. We have other board members that are there. George Hulse is one of them. Balfour Pert is another one. We have Anne-Marie Stanislaus, who's a real estate broker. She's another board member. Dr. Ida Astic, of course, the wife of Dr. Roy, she's on the board. And then we have the Reverend Riley, Cecil Riley, who's also on the board. So, we are, as you can see, a distinct board. Everybody has distinct backgrounds, hailing from different countries. And this is what the Caribbean is about. And that's why it's important for us to continue putting emphasis on the word Caribbean, because all of us are from different countries. I'm from Haiti, George is from Belize, Balfour is Jamaica, Anne-Marie is Grenada, Roy was Grenada. So it's really, really beautiful. Sadio was from, I think Sadio was from Panama, right? I forgot what country, but this is what we have as a group, bringing all these different folks together for a common good, which was the empowerment of our Caribbean American community. So with that, we have one big achievement that we would have celebrated in a much grandiose fashion, had we not have this issue of COVID. It is the fact that at the location of Flatbush and Caton, all of you remember the marketplace, the Caribbean marketplace. Well, if you go there now, you will see there is a 16 stories building that has gone up there. And we are proud to be a partner and an anchor in that development. And Kaki will be occupying the second floor of that building. That's where we will be moving and have our permanent offices when the constructions is completed and the finishing touches are put in. So we will definitely have a big open house and have everyone come in and see what the new home for Kaki is. In the meantime, those of you that are watching us and are at the restaurant, I will tell you, Kaki is still at the Brooklyn Navy Yard, which is at 63 Flushing Avenue. And we are at Unit 239, building number 5. So if anybody would want to visit us, they can visit us there. And we have a phone number, which is 718-834-4544. So you can call us there. There will be a way for you to leave messages. We also have a website, which is www.caribbeantradecenter.com. And Caribbean Trade Center is important because that was one of the dreams that Roy had. In fact, when we met 16 or almost 17 years ago, that was one of the things that he had mentioned to me, his dream of seeing the Caribbean Trade Center spring up in Brooklyn, in New York. So that will take place when we move to our new location. So do make a note of these phone numbers. It's 718-834-4544. That's our general number. And of course, uh, the website, which is caribbeantradecenter.com. So we'll be very happy to entertain any inquiry you may have. At this point, I'm going to pass this mic over to George Hulse for other additional thoughts that he may have with regard to where we are right now. George.
Thank you so much, Harry.
Phone number for us, please.
And thank you so much for the mention once again of Edward Sadio. You know, had Sadio, of course, has had some health challenges, and he's as strong as an ox. But had he not had those health challenges, of course, things would have been a lot different for Khaki. He was one of the main spokes that kept our organization going. Of course, it was sort of like a three-legged stool. There was Dr. Hastic, there was Edith Hastic, and there was Edmund Sadio. And so when Dr. Hastic passed on, uh, our friend Edward Sadio also had bad health, and Edith Hastic was very, very occupied. And of course, she went through the normal things that a person would go through after losing a partner. And so it really gave us a curveball. We're grateful that Harry, Fauché, and others really stood up and really took charge and kept the organization afloat. You know, sometimes we don't really look back at how difficult this charge was for Dr. Hastic. 30 some years ago, people didn't talk about the Caribbean community. Very few people who were not Caribbean knew much about the Caribbean community or gave it an awful lot of attention. I remember in 1972 when Shirley Chisholm, the great congresswoman from Brooklyn, ran for president of the United States. No one mentioned the fact that she was Caribbean. She ran solely as an African American or Black woman. And Una Clark was really one of the first, and Dr. Hastic, they were among the first people to really promote the Caribbean brand in a different way. And former Senator Stewart, who's still around, but it was very, very, very difficult. We've come a long, long way now, and Khaki has been one of the leaders in changing that. You know, Roy's leadership was not just to help Caribbean businesses. Roy's leadership also helped the Caribbean community with strength with respect to politics. And we never got involved in partisan politics, but Roy was a mentor and a leader and a direction, and helped almost every elected official of color who's come through New York City in the last few years. And there were many who were Caribbean who no one knew. The late Basil Patterson, former Governor David Patterson's father, who was a state senator. Many people, of course, did not know that Basil Patterson was Caribbean, that the Speaker of the New York State Assembly, Carl Hastings, Senator Hastings, has Caribbean roots. And so Roy really floated a balloon that no one could imagine. And he floated the balloon extremely well. And we are very happy at Khaki that we're still moving along. Of course, that wonderful building that you see on the corner of Caton and Flatbush, that is not Roy's dream. Roy dreamed of Khaki actually owning a building like that. And of course, we don't own that building. We are one of the tenants and an owner as a condo owner. But you know, I remember as a young man, one of my mentors saying to me, George, low aim, not failure, is a disgrace. And so Roy aimed high and he hit it a good spot. And now we do have a wonderful location that we'll be occupying with many other people on the corner of Caton and Flatbush. And although that building is not our the vision that Roy talked about, it's quite an accomplishment. It's an accomplishment that people all over the country would like to duplicate. And so we want to encourage people to duplicate it. And we also want people to encourage what we're doing here tonight. We want to encourage people to get together with events like this. AfterWork networking Wednesdays and Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays and Sundays, and coming together. We are at a critical stage, and of course, that word critical stage is overused, but we're at a critical stage as a result of the lack of Black economic power. We had someone talking earlier about Wall Street. You know, we had more economic power when there was that Wall Street in Tulsa than many of us see today. And as we see Black families today, our wealth compared to white families is no better in 2021 than it was in 1968. And so we've got to encourage our young people to be entrepreneurs. We've got to encourage our young people to dream. We've got to encourage our young people to do what our parents did. Our parents came here with nothing, and with pennies and nickels bought brownstones in Brooklyn, had the whole family live in the brownstone until everyone could buy a brownstone or a property. And now we see young people of color, and many young Caribbean people homeless. And so we've got to encourage that spirit that our parents and our grandparents had. They came here with nothing materially, but they came here with everything they needed. They came here with a dream. They came here with determination. And they came here with a commitment to make a difference. And we've got to do that. That's our mission at CACI. We're very happy about that mission. We're encouraging everyone to join CACI. We're encouraging everyone to join AfterWork Networking Wednesdays. We're encouraging other people to start up groups like our groups. And then let us all come together to empower this Caribbean community. We can do it, and we're going to do it. And I'm happy to continue to be a part of CACI. I'm flattered to partner with Harry Fauché. I'm flattered to partner with Balfour Pierce. I'm flattered to partner with Bishop Riley and all the others who are part of this organization. We want to thank people like William Lake, who has been really a big asset to us. We want to thank Anna Walker, who ran the market when we had vendors there. And of course, that vendors market that we are occupying now is only there because of Councilwoman Una Clark. There were Caribbean people on the sidewalk selling goods and trinkets and socks and shoes. And Una Clark said, no, you can do better. I'm going to find you a site. And she went after the city and opened that site. And we can never thank Una Clark enough. So on behalf of CACI, I'd like to say how flattered I am to be here today. Thank you so much, Jerry.
Thank you, George. Thank you for this nice testimony, if I can use that word. At this point, I don't know if the audience has questions that they want to put to us. So we'll be prepared to take those.
We have some
if not, we can continue. There's so much we could be talking about CACI, but yeah, I'll let
Okay, Mr. Fouché, we have some questions, and we're also going to allow Mr. Lake to say something. I want Mr. Lake to address some of the challenges that Kaki has had to deal with, and his role as consultant in helping to maneuver and negotiate those challenges and to overcome those challenges. But before we do that, I would like to add to what you guys were saying, and also thank each one of you on that panel. I mean, this Keaton Flats, that building we are speaking about, which will house the Caribbean Trade Center, is a tremendous accomplishment, and it is thanks to Dr. Hastic, Edmund Sadio, George House, you yourself, yes, Mr. Fouché, former Consul General, our current acting chairman, Dr. Ida Harris Hastic, and the Hastic children, Camille and her sister, their efforts, Ms. Stanislaus and all the others you named, thanks to all of you, we have a 254 unit housing building on that corner of Flatbush and Caton, which will house the Caribbean Trade Center. And there will also be space available for small businesses to do their trade and to develop themselves. It's and a continuation of the incubator program that Kaki started. And so I'm sure in the trade center there would be the ongoing workshops. By the way, George mentioned workshops. Kaki has already conducted close to 1,000 workshops. In developing small businesses, they have the SCORE program, which works with small business owners. All of that has really helped to grow small business ownership here in Brooklyn, New York City as a whole, for Blacks, Hispanics, Caribbean Americans. So I want to recognize all of you for that. And I also want to talk a little bit about the benefits of membership in Kaki. And after that, I just want to list some of the benefits which I took the time to list them, and I'm going to share that list. But right after I do that, I would like to hear from Mr. Lake about the challenges. The benefits include the fact that when you join, you get a welcome package, your membership pin and your decal, you get that. You'll get a free listing on the Caribbean Trade Center website for 1 year until your annual membership is renewed. Yeah, you're gonna have password access to online Kaki membership directory. You're gonna have one business consultation free by appointment in Kaki's New York office. You're gonna have assistance with preparation of member business plans, your business plans. You're gonna have assistance with identifying and applying for credit counseling and legal and accounting services. You're gonna have assistance with identifying and applying for small business financing through Kaki member banks. You're going to have the opportunity to be honored at Kaki's annual business awards ceremonies. You're going to have assistance with preparation for referrals to appropriate NYC or New York State and or federal agencies for certification and procurement services for small MWBE businesses and their owners. Also, you're going to have referral for New York City and New York State and or federal business licenses, invitations to all Kaki and monthly business networking meetings. You also have free admission to selected Kaki monthly business networking meetings and a free hard copy of our current annual business to business directory and other periodicals. There would also be advertising opportunities discounted for promotion in business via website and Caribbean Trade Center publicity. Also, there would be member-to-member discounts when doing business with participating Kaki members. And then there would also be technology services available through the technical partnerships that Kaki has. All of that and more are in the works, some already in effect, and the others have been developed as Kaki resuscitates, rejuvenates, and continues its mission to to support and advocate for the growth and development of small businesses. Mr. Lake, this being said, I know there are challenges, and during this pandemic, we've had to.
Good afternoon.
About your role and where do you see us? How do you see us moving beyond these challenges?
Yes. Well, good afternoon, and thanks for having me. I would like to first thank you for having us on. And Khaki is on the move, is what you need to understand at this point. We're on the move, and part of us being on the move, we've identified areas that our community is either king or falling behind. For instance, in the import-export business industry, for instance, that's an area that requires some more input from us. The freight forwarders in the industry, for instance, we need to protect that niche that we have, but also expand it as the Caribbean is seeing itself now as a bigger entity. In the past was the West Indies, as we were known back then, was former Britain, the French colonies. Now we're seeing interest coming from the Afro-Latino communities next to Belize, the Guatemalans and whatnot. And one consisted of Belize, but not the Afro-Honduran communities next to it. So we're seeing interest coming from those communities also. Now, we are in the 21st century, so the procurement opportunities are now taking a slightly different turn. So if you thought you knew what you had to do back then, come back to us because those have changed. If you thought you understood accessing small business finance 2 years ago, call us. It has changed. Again, that also has changed. So you need to revisit the home base, come home, as they say, and don't be a homeless entrepreneur. Hello?
Okay. We are having some technical difficulty. We are not hearing Mr. Lake right now. However, Mr. Lake? Okay. We're back on? Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. Mr. Lake, we lost Mr. Lake there.
I think.
But let me just.
Well, I just want to wrap it up.
They were hearing him.
Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me now? I think I'm back.
Okay, I'm hearing you now. Mr. Lake, are you finished with?
Okay. I just wanted to summarize it all by simply saying.
Is Mr. Lake? Okay. I'm not hearing him.
I'm not hearing him.
Okay, so we're going to move beyond this. What I'm going to do now, Mr. Lake, participants, folks, viewers, listeners, we apologize for the technical difficulties that we're experiencing at this point in time. When we are hearing Mr. Lake clearly again, we shall continue with him. We shall bring him back on. At this point in time, what I would like to do is have Mr. Fouché or Mr. Hulse respond to a question we have in the thread with respect to membership fee. What's the cost to become a member of CACI? Either one of you.
All right, Jerry, what was the question again?
The cost for membership, annual membership for CACI.
George, I think he's talking about what we did this year. We decided because of the pandemic, we had a reduced level of membership. So we have a membership at the $100 level, so which is reduced from the regular. And we also have associated membership that could be as low as 75. Of course, we always welcome, added value membership. If somebody wants to give us more than $100, we will gladly take that. But at this point, the general membership is about $100, and that's the rate we set up during that past difficult year to encourage everybody to come back to the fold.
Yeah, Jerry, our challenge was, our concern was not membership. Our concern was really just staying connected with the community and the business community and the people we could support. And so we lowered the membership because that was not the most important thing. The most important thing is to continue to provide services to the people and the community that we serve and the people that need it.
Very good. Thank you so much. And I know, especially George, a while ago, you mentioned the importance of encouraging young entrepreneurs to become involved, not just with Kaki, but on the whole, to own their own businesses and to grow and develop. And I'm happy to report that AfterWork Networking Wednesdays has been encouraging that. And in fact, the people who are making this happen tonight, we have quite a few young entrepreneurs on board. I'm talking about the likes of Mr. Warson, Skywalker. He's very much well known there. He has his own business called Carry Urban, media communications and marketing company. He also is the CEO and founder of Oil Down Factory, a design company in the fashion industry, and he also does other forms of catering, especially focusing on oil down, the national dish of Grenada. Also, we have Junior George, no stranger to any. Junior is the founder and CEO of Ride Along, also amazing, a mass, design and he organizes mass, not just in one country, but in several. And he's also a communications expert, and he offers other services through his various entities, and he is helping to facilitate along with Skywalker to make this app happen here for us tonight, and not just tonight, but in the past as well. And we also want to recognize next to me Cheryl Vincent with Cheryl V Music, an entertainment outfit, and she's been her own business owner while she practices as a registered nurse and community organizer. And of course, I cannot live with myself, the Hopkins Consultant Group, which I've been doing since 2003, turning ideas into realities. That's my tagline, making things happen. And again, we all go back to Kaki. Cheryl and I especially, mentored by the likes of Dr. Roy Hastick himself, and working with the likes of George Hulse, who is always a source of inspiration and encouragement in every fora, in every grouping, in every meeting, in every session, always bringing energy and passion and purpose to the mix. So we thank all of you, and we're happy that we are all making it happen, even as we meet here inside of Plenty's Restaurant and Lounge. I call it an upscale venue right here in Brooklyn, bringing Manhattan into Brooklyn, you may say. It's been around and it's recently been enhanced, and is right here at 992, and it's going to be open in full to the public very soon. It's a limited use arrangement we have here, knowing what we're about as AfterWork Networking Wednesday, as a movement to encourage entrepreneurship and small business owners to organize and develop themselves. They allowed us to be here, to use the venue, but it will be open very soon as a full-fledged restaurant and lounge, back to the way it used to be, and even better than in the past. And so we want to thank the Plenties and Raven himself for making it possible for us to be here, and Rockin' J, who's one of the on the team here at Plenty's Restaurant and Lounge. We want to thank him in a very special way, Rockin' J, for facilitating and making this happen, along with the crew. We talk about Mandela Links, who is in the house with us today. Yes, the Mandela Links. And there might be other artists as well. We have Dion Blaze, yes, who just launched her Afrobeat single, Kuchidongo. Yes, which we featured recently. Again, Junior was a part of that production, making it happen, the grand release. So we recognize all those who are here in support of initiatives such as this, And Ras Valley himself, he is the leader of a band, the Damage Band. And we have to promote each other, as Dr. Hastic always reminded us to. And that is why I took the time to do what I just did, following in his footsteps. So, guys, we really thank each of you. We're getting close to the end. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to make around the room and starting with Dr. Puche and Harry. And if there is anything else that you'd like to add to what you've said already, please do so now. Harry, beginning with you.
I didn't quite hear what Mr. Jerry said, but anyway, I'm not sure if he's closing the event, but I want to remind folks of the telephone number for Kaki, which is 718-834-4544. So you can always call and leave any inquiry you may have on that live phone. It's a 24 hours live number, and we will make sure somebody gets back to you. And of course, we want to take the opportunity for this gathering to ask as many of you as possible to consider joining Kaki and becoming a member, because we are a membership organization, so it's important for us to have members. And the membership is, of course, what is going to give us the, I would say, the open door that we are seeking to do things for our community. The stronger the organization is, the more access we're going to have in terms of, local elected officials, state elected officials, and federal elected officials. So it's very important that we consider joining the organization. The website is CaribbeanTradeCenter.com. CaribbeanTradeCenter.com. Of course, you put www that in front of it. As I indicated during my remark, the building at Caton and Flatbush is up, and the second floor, the whole floor, is dedicated to Kaki. It's going to be our permanent location, our permanent home, and we will definitely put the word out to the community when we move in and have an open house so all of you can come to visit. In the meantime, I think George mentioned about the other aspect of the building, which is there's going to be about 256 rental units. And those rental units are very important for us to think about. Those rental units, there are 3 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, 1 bedroom, and studio. And the way those units are going to be let to folks who may be interested in moving in, the New York City Housing Authority or Development Corporation is going to be holding a lottery. So a lot of you know about those kind of lotteries. So this is how you would have a chance to have one of the apartments. Also, another big thing you need to know is that folks in the community close to the Caton Flatbush area will also have a preference, but you still have to go through the lottery and then put your application in, go to the New York City Housing Development website, put your application in, and you let them know this is the building you're applying for, the Caton Flatbush building. And then hopefully, in a month or two after your application is put in, the lottery will be, the results will be proclaimed, and then hopefully before the year is out, we'll have folks starting to move into the building. But it's a beautiful building. We had a chance to visit it. There's a lot of things that's going to be happening there. The marketplace, which was the site where the building is standing on, is still going to be there. There's a location, huge location, huge space in the basement of the building that's going to be affected for the marketplace, and there's going to be a lot of space for the vendors. Vendors will be divided in terms of what it is they are selling and offering. For example, those that are doing food, there is an industrial kitchen that they'll be able to use. Those that are doing garments in other craft of that type. There is a section where they also will have facilities to sew their wares or do dyeing and that kind of thing. And of course, those that are doing handicrafts and carvings. So it's really going to be a beautiful setup when it's finished. And there will be a food court. People could come in and sit there, enjoy it. So it's going to be beautiful. And of course, you'll get a chance to come up to Kaki. We're going to have our own lobby. When you come in on the Caton side, you will see our lobby, the entrance to the Kaki's office. So we will, of course, always welcome visitors who will come to see us. So, in a nutshell, I would say, Jerry Hopkins, thank you so much for the invite. And George Hulse, thank you for joining me on this. And William Lake also for us to be able to bring this briefing to the community and to the folks at Network Wednesday, I think the term is. So all of you are welcome to join us as members. You're welcome to join us at programs that we will be doing. Even though we did not have any face-to-face program, we still had about 2 or 3 Zoom program, and we were very, very pleased with the turnout. And we even had folks all the way from the Caribbean islands of St. Vincent, people from, I think we had somebody from Guyana. We had presenters at one time from Haiti, from Jamaica. So, Kaki is moving, and we are pleased that of the progress that we're making. We are not totally satisfied of where we are, but we are pleased with where we are right now. But we need to do better. And in order for us to do better, we need all of you to come and join us and help us make sure Kaki remains as an institution, as a viable organization, and as a force to be reckoned with in the community. Thank you so much, Jerry.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. George.
George?
Jerry, just let me say thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much for this invitation. Continue to do what you're doing. We need more Jerrys. We need more people with your vision, with Sadio's vision, with your commitment to our community. We've got to encourage that. And of course, I was quite encouraged and flattered by the young people who you introduced earlier. We most certainly need that young energy. They are our future. We need those who are more mature as mentors, but we need that young energy, and I'm quite flattered to see their presence. So, Jerry, thank you so much. And I want to just, I know Mr. Lake didn't really get a chance to say much, but we can't thank William Lake enough, and we can't thank Anna Walker enough for the work that they have done to support us also. So thanks to them, and thank you to you, and thank you to everyone who's a part of this group. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Is Lake still with us? Is Lake still here? Okay, go ahead, Cheryl.
Okay, before you guys leave, there's another question in regards to who's allowed to be vendors at the Caton Flats, and it says, is there a preference given to members who wants to be a vendor at the Caton Flats? Can you answer the question for us, please? George, are you still there?
Yes. So we won't actually be running the market anymore. But if you would contact us on our website, we will have Anna Walker follow up with you. Anna Walker was the one who ran the market from day one, and we'll be happy to connect you with the proper authorities so that you can be considered as a vendor there. So we would be very, very happy to do that. So if you would, anyone who's interested in being a vendor there, if they just reach out to us on the website, we'll immediately respond to that and direct you in the correct way. Also, if anyone wants more information about becoming a resident of the building, reach out to us also, and we'll direct you in what listen, everyone needs housing, but gentrification is a big problem in our community. We want to ensure that the people who live in that building are the same people who lived in that community. And so we need your support. So reach out to us in either case, and we'll be happy to direct you.
Thank you. Thank you. I also, we fully recognize Dr. Roy Hastick Sr., Edmund Sadio House, uh, Harry Fouché, Balfour Piot, Dr. Edna Harris Hastick, Bishop Cecil Riley, the Hastick children, and the others, the Stanislaus and Derek Noel, Derek Cyrus, all the many who have put in the many hours and efforts to make khaki what it has become. But I also want to recognize someone else that I haven't yet recognized fully, and that is New York City Council's first elected Caribbean American member, Dr. Una Clark, for the leading role she also played alongside Dr. Hastick and the others in advocating for the original Caton Farmers Market facility. And we know that those who were in that market are going to be given special preference in the new building. And we want to thank her for that. And I also want to use this platform as an opportunity to say something. I am going to petition for, and I'm calling for, that building, which is now named Caton Flats, to be renamed the Dr. Roy Hastick and Dr. Una Clark building or complex. I repeat, I'm petitioning and I'm making it public here, and I've done it before on social media, and I'm doing it again. I'm petitioning and I'm calling for and demanding that that building, which is now named Caton Flats, be named Dr. Roy Hastick Sr. and Dr. Una Clark Complex. And that's all I'm going to say.
I absolutely agree.
And Cheryl Vincent is
It's
seconding.
very
seconding
much deserving.
And for folks who are looking for housing in that building, let me give you the New York City website you may use to get into the housing lottery. And that is housingconnect.nyc.gov. Housing Connect, housingconnect.nyc.gov /public web /details /2241. I'll do that again. housingconnect.nyc.gov /public web /details /2241. This information will be placed in the thread of this live. So you can get that information there, as well as other contact information for CACI, Caribbean American Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Folks, we want to thank everyone who made this possible. Again, Carrie Urban and Oil Dung Factory, through Mr. Watson, I call him Skywalker. We all know him as Skywalker. He also carries, some folks also just call him Mr. Walker. But that gentleman, we want to thank him in particular. We also want to say a special big thank you for Ride Along and Junior George of Amazing, yes, amazing colors. How could I leave out the colors? Without colors, it's not amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Junior has other services that you can find when you check out. He's also on YouTube. Ride Along Riders is also right, Junior. RYDERS.com. Is it riders.com? Riders Live, yes, and that's also one of his entities. So we want to recognize him for his efforts and contributions in making this happen. And again, I want to thank Plenty's Restaurant and Lounge for facilitating this here, for hosting us here, and to all of our guests this evening, a special thank you. And we cannot finish saying thank you to Ras Valley. And it would be nice if, Cheryl, if you and Ras Valley could close us out, take us out with something. If Ras Valley is available now, we could do that. But before we do that, I also want to let folks know, if you want more information about After Work Networking Wednesdays, is Ras Valley around? Could you get in, please? After Work Networking Wednesdays, you can give us a call at 347-350-4285. 347-350-4285. You can also check us out on After Work Networking Wednesdays, A&W. That's on Facebook. We have a group and we have a regular business page there. And just to clarify, again, After Work Networking Wednesdays is a movement. It's a forum. It's a platform. We bring people together. And we are all members. Those of us who lead this are members of CACI, the Caribbean American Chamber of Commerce. And we encourage people to join an organization that has been around for over 36 years, yes, which we are also a part of. You come, you join with us, we network, we forum, we share best practices, and then we join CACI to enjoy all the benefits which I listed in CACI earlier. Okay, folks? So we're going to close this out. And by the way, those of you who are on this live, if you are listening or viewing, please, we are networking. So I'm asking you to kindly leave your contact information in the thread. Your name, your business name, your telephone number, your email address, your website address. Leave that information in the thread so that people can know that you were here. You were here with us, and they can find you, because networking matters and it works. Yes, Dr. Hasek always said networking works, and I'm adding something to that. I say it matters and it works. So, folks, without any further ado, as we get some background music just to close it out from Cheryl B, they're going to give us at least one selection, one or two. And we say thank you for joining us. The next session with us will be on the 25th of August. On the 25th of August, we're going to be right back here after work networking Wednesdays in NYC, in Brooklyn, NYC, ANW, folks. We thank you for joining us. Enjoy the music from recording artist Cheryl Vincent, accompanied by recording artist and musician Ras Valley.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready? Are you ready? Ooh. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready? Are you ready? When the roll is called down, I'll be standing taller to meet the darkest and the hardest of time. Yeah, we'll be taken care of, all the children thereof. If it's required, you'll be on the front line. You can call me by my name, I am ready to roll. Once the road remains the same, how the story's been told, yeah. Call me anytime, never clock out. Lioness is on the right, don't you ever have doubt, yeah, yeah, yeah. Never say never, we're in this together to fight and be strong. Once it's for better, I'll write every letter and move it right along. Yeah, and I'll roll with the punches. Yeah, accept the changes. Work with the formula, do what I have to do now. And call me by my name, I am ready to roll. Yeah, once the rule remains the same, how the story's been told. Yeah, call me anytime, never pop out. Lioness is on the right, don't you ever have doubt. Yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa, 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 yeah. Mr. Ras Valley, ladies and gentlemen, on the keyboard. Yeah, yeah. But you are willing to serve. We are here to observe, to see if you can walk the walk you talk. Yeah, let me give you my word. My voice must be heard. Bravery is the beat of my heart. Call me by my name. I am ready to roll. Once the rule remains the same, how the story's been told. Yeah. Call me anytime, never cop out. Lioness is on the rise, never down. Yeah. Call me by my name. Yeah, once the rule remains the same. Yeah. Call me anytime, never cop out. Lioness is on the rise, don't you ever have doubt. Call me Yeah. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Ooh, yeah. Are you ready? Are you ready? How you doing, Mr. Hopkins?
Thank you so much, Cheryl V. Ras Valley, thank you so much. Before we close it off inside here, we're gonna end this. We have a message from the uh, general director general of the World Health Organization that we're going to end this evening's forum session with. But before I do that, I want to recognize the person we mentioned at the beginning again, and that is Edmund Sadio. He's in our press, he's on sabbatical, and he is the gentleman who inspired much of what you're seeing here. He's one of the co-founders and primary co-hosts, and we recognize him and his entire team over at Century 21 Achievers Realty. In particular, I want to recognize his son, Troy Sadio, who is holding the fort, holding it down along with the rest of that team over there on Flatbush, Century 21 Achievers Realty. Thank you, Chairman Emeritus Edmund Sadio, for all that you've done and all that you will continue to do, because I believe that you will continue to do so. So may God bless everyone. And folks, all of you who joined us here for the first time, come back, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your relatives, tell your colleagues to join us at AfterWork Networking Wednesdays, ANW. Now we'll leave you with a message from the World Health Organization Secretary, Director General. He's going to share a message with you that I want you to take to heart. It's a very important message.
We know that for many people, life is changing dramatically. My family is no different. My daughter is now taking her classes online from home because her school is closed. For the rest of the world, that even the most severe situation can be turned around. But the experience of cities and countries that have pushed back this virus give hope and courage to the rest of the world. During this difficult time, it's important to continue looking after your physical and mental health. This will not only help you in the long term. First, eat a healthy and nutritious diet, which helps your immune system to function properly. Second, limit your alcohol consumption and avoid sugary drinks. Third, don't smoke. Smoking can increase your risk of developing severe disease if you become infected with COVID-19. Fourth, exercise. WHO recommends 30 minutes of physical activity a day for adults and 1 hour a day for children. If your local or national guidelines allow it, go outside for a walk, a run or a ride, and keep a safe distance from others. If you can't leave the house, find an exercise video online, dance to music, do some yoga, or walk up and down the stairs. If you're working at home, make sure you don't sit in the same position for long periods. Get up and take a 3-minute break every 30 minutes. Fifth, look after your mental health. It's normal to feel stressed, confused, and scared during a crisis. Talking to people you know and trust can help. Supporting other people in your community can help you as much as it does them. Check on neighbors, family, and friends. Compassion is a medicine. Listen to music, read a book, or play a game. And try not to read or watch too much news if it makes you anxious. Get your information from reliable sources once or twice a day. COVID-19 is taking so much from us, but it's also giving us something special, the opportunity to come together as one humanity, to work together, to learn together, to grow together. I thank you.